Hello all, Seriously is here. Time to start a new series, This Old Save. Welcome to This Old Save. We're going to look at my old legacy save. We are on the Anomaly because this is basically where this character lives. This is their home. The single player Anomaly. Nice and empty, no other ships. This is where I almost always log into the game on this save because the only thing I've been doing is keeping a little bit up to date on those fortune cookies. If we take a quick peek at where we're at, you can see I've got tons of resources. One thing we're not going to need to worry about on this save is getting resources. We are going to have to worry about continuing to maintain this resource. It's our lowest one because today one of the first things I'm going to do is spend some of this resource because this is a legacy save and I feel like we need to get as many of these legacy items as is possible. So let's just start with that right off the bat. First thing we're going to do, spend quicksilver, a whole bunch of it. Maybe buy everything. Should a legacy save have everything? You can see I've got most stuff already. I'm not going to buy, where did it go? I'm not going to buy more void eggs. I'm not going to buy fireworks that are consumables and multiple things. I might buy the banners. I don't really care about the banners. I really like the banners we start with. The skull banner is pretty cool. The units banner is cool. I am going to buy this stuff. I am going to buy these heads. They're very expensive, but I think there's like something like 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 heads that I don't have. That's less than 30,000. Even if you include the first spawn battle mask, and there's another one down here I don't have. Yeah, the blazing orbit helmet. I don't have those. They're 3,000 each, but I've got pretty much everything else. All of the emotes. So let's buy these. Boom. Where'd that Gek helmet go? Up above the fireworks. Okay. That's not technically actually a Gek helmet. It's a Gek style helmet for Anomaly characters. If you are one of these guys, a Traveler, you can't wear it. If you're a Gek, you can't wear it. If you're a Vy'keen, you can't wear it. Korvax, no dice. So that is, and these are Traveler only heads. If you're an Anomaly, you can't use these ones. But we're going to buy them too, because we can. I don't think anything's ever been taken off this list, but why not buy it while it's there and available? As you can see when I came into this list today, at the top, I've already purchased the 2 things that are available for pets, even though I don't have any. Titles, huh? Yeah, you know what? Let's buy titles. Why not? Oh, that's a sad one. Is it? Maybe. Maybe it's sad. It's sad if you want it to be sad. Wow, there's so many of these titles that I didn't have. I didn't realize how many there were. I'm going to be very low on funds. We went from 60,000, we spent 40,000 quicksilver just now. Wow. So I think the only thing left is banners. Now I know these decals are going to be coming out, and I'm not specifically a member of any of these hubs, so I don't know that I want any of the banners at all. But I might buy the decals because decals can be used as like overlapping things that make interesting patterns. So I might buy those decals if those ones come out. But for now, I think we'll hold off. And the game's doing a lot of that music repeating pattern because I unlocked all that stuff. Titles specifically. What's the next one? Like Traveler. All right, well, great. All right. But that was just the briefest of things. That wasn't going to take a whole episode of this stuff. What do we got to do on this save? Tons. Even an established save has tons, especially because I haven't been playing it, really. I've just been doing quicksilver missions. We could do a quicksilver mission, but let's not. Let's take stock. Let's do an inventory of our inventory and take stock of our stock. Make a list of lists after we make a restore point. We've saved the game. So, where are we in the universe? I'm probably above my home base, which is my new home base, which is now a very, very old home base. So let's go and take a look. Let's see where I am, and we'll talk about things that have changed on the way. Now this should be parked directly over my base, and in between my base and the Anomaly should be my freighter, with all of the frigate fleets below it, because I've parked it upside down somehow. And as we leave, there you see, there it is. There's my fleet. But something has changed. If you go back, and I don't recommend it because my mic quality has significantly increased, but if you go back to my old videos, you will notice that my freighter is different than it used to be. And I didn't do that. I didn't change anything. These wings here, which I'm not making any comments on the quality or style of them, they weren't there. And I didn't get this design of freighter because of the wings that it had. I got it because it didn't have wings. I liked that it didn't have wings, and I understand that there was a patch a ways back that took these wings away from a lot of freighters, and people want them back, and that is totally fair, and I appreciate the people that wanted them back, but I just picked this thing up when it didn't have wings, and now they've repaired it to have wings. And I want to go find one that doesn't have wings. I want to get the model I had and the one that I picked out. And I don't know if we can find this exact one, but we get to go freighter shopping. This is a good thing. This is a great thing. Something fun to do. That's on the list. There's a bunch of stuff just like this. This change happened in, I believe, the Companions update. Not sure which one, but one of the Companions update returned wings to these freighters that had lost them. And I have since seen system freighters that don't have the wings on them, so I know it's possible to find what I'm looking for. We just got to go do it. Not a big deal. In fact, while we're here, let's take a quick stock. Let's do some stock of what we're going to need. We're going to need... Oh, is it this way? It's this way on this ship. Okay. We're going to need cargo bulkheads. We only have 16. That's bad news. I need a lot of these to increase the storage capacity of a new system freighter. Now, the downside of system freighters, the upside is that you can get really unique looks that not a lot of people are using. And you get to pick basically a lot of style. It's way, way, way faster to reload to get an S-Class version. But the downside is they have a much, much lower starting capacity. I believe it's a 19 slot freighter in S-Class. So we need a lot. If to get it up to 48, which we can do because it'll be S-Class, we're going to need way, way more, other way. Way more cargo bulkheads than that. We're also going to want to replace all of these and all of these. We're going to want to get our hyperdrive range up to around the 6400 level because that's what we had. We're going to have to go into the ship. We're going to have to dismantle everything. We're going to have to make room for that. That's a low priority because this is an established save. I don't need to get those resources back. And you know, the more I look at it, the more I sort of like these wings, but I really want the nice sleek sloop that I had. This is sort of just like almost like a naked Star Destroyer. You know, like I suspect the regular Star Destroyer models have these cargo pods on the inside of their hull, and they're just not showing. So this reminds me of the Star Destroyers I have on the other saves. And so I want to find a nice sleek sloop shape, I think. And maybe with this nose, I really, really like this pointy nose. So let's see what we can find. I also like the shielded square containers, but I could go for the round ones as well. We'll see what we can find. We're going to go shopping. But let's head down to the base. And as you can see, my fleet's parked upside down directly above the base, and that's sort of just done by going like this. You know, like you would normally do above a planet to summon your freighter fleet in, and then just rotating it like that and finding an angle where it lets you summon it in. And I just like the look of it when you leave the cargo bay, that you've got a planet hanging above you. But it takes a lot of effort. If you're moving your freighter around a lot, I don't recommend that because it takes a lot of effort to line it up every time, and if that's your gimmick, it's going to be very frustrating for you to ever move your freighter anywhere. As I said, this save was not paused, or not like gone, not forgotten, but yeah, paused would be a good word, I think. Now this base has a lot of parts. This base here has every possible part that any base mission could ask you for. So landing here when you take a Nexus base building mission is a pretty much automatic complete. You just need to hop out of the ship after everything loads in. Let's give it a second. There's a lot of parts. Alright, let's hop out. We'll know if we're there. No, see, stuff is still loading in. Look at that. Boop. Come on. Pop, pop, pop. Wow, I've never seen it take this long before. Alright. I think that's everything. Oh, no, okay. We had one of these things that I put in there. That's right. But I thought there was a pumpkin on top of that, too. Maybe not. Maybe not. Might just not have loaded in, though. I'm a little unsure. Oh, there, yeah, see, stuff's popping in still. Okay. So here we are, down on the ground at my main base. This is my new main base. I don't really have to do anything here. I'm going to keep my Anomaly up in the sky. Where's my fleet at? There we go. Nice. Up there. And I'm going to do the base building mission here every time. That's why I keep the Anomaly above this planet. It always sends me to this planet, and I always add on to this by finishing the mission right away. I've added everything I need. So nothing needs to be done here. And now that it's sunrise, I can show you how pretty this place is. The only thing that changed with Origins at this base was that these alien trees got added to the planet. I believe all of the creatures changed as well. Some of them might have gone extinct, and they added new ones. There's some new creatures here. But they added these trees and a couple new creatures. The geography stayed the same. The colors stayed the same. No chromatic filter was affected. The weather stayed the same. I'm perfectly happy keeping this base where it is without changing too much. We can do a quick tour, but the tour is not the point today. We're just going to do a quick flyby of the stuff. This is just my home base. So, boom. Take a look at the little bit of a trophy room we got here for some weird stuff. Take a peek in there. And let's go to the garage, because above the garage, well, at the top of the garage is the hover garage. And then down here we have our other exocraft. Whoops. There we go. Our standard roamer. Exocraft station, of course. So, and the bike underneath the hovercraft. Nice compact design. The mech is in a secret location. I'll show you that in a bit. And the Colossus is over here in its own huge separate garage because it's so big. It doesn't even fit in a 3-story building. Look, it's ridiculous. The garage door for this thing is just completely open. And it barely fits out there, just barely. Alright, so let's go look above the garage. I was mentioning I built these thingies, these amoebas, out of the wriggling bushes. Oof, barely made it onto this one. We got one over here. This one is fused together a little bit better. Oh, but as you can see, that's how I did it. Some of these ones don't load in. So I put a light cube down, and then I just put a pill light on each side of that box, and I blender glitched one of these plants to each one. And what I did over here was I did basically that thing, same thing, but without the lights. So I did a one facing up and one facing down underneath, and then in between those I was able to adjacency glitch some sideways by using a different glitch decoration that I could make smaller, get to line up and turn green state, and then adjacency glitch to the bush, and it would appear at full size in the orientation I picked with the other item. So that's how I got the sideways ones on that one. And that one's a bit thicker, a bit wider, but it always seems to appear in without any problems, and this one has some that are missing sometimes. Oh well. So I could work on that, but again, this pace is basically... we could take a peek. Let's go into the build menu. Let us go into the build menu. Large. Okay, we are base uploadable. We have an uploadable base, so we are not at the part limit yet, but we got a lot of parts and they're all basically centered in this little area. And there's even some underneath the base. As you can see, this little tower, when we flew in, that was visible. It is visible from the base, at least this peak here is. So you're like, oh, well, what's over there? So you might go take a peek. This structure here above the short-range teleporter has only been put in because I needed some concrete roof pieces for the Nexus base building missions. So tried to make it look okay, but it's not really, you know, part of the build. Now, we could just take this straight back up. As you can see, the line goes up, and I'll show you where that goes. Oop, just between the structures. So that's the way back home after you're done down here. Oh, and we'll just wait for the geography to reappear, because this is built above a natural cave entrance, the Minotaur's Labyrinth. So if we hop in here, we can see there's some lights that have been built to guide us over to the Minotaur station. And I built this down here under the base because you can't edit terrain, right? Because it's on a base. You shouldn't be able to. I know there's a bug that sort of lets you edit other people's base terrain, but assuming that you can't edit the terrain, there's no way to dig your way out of this tunnel. And I've sealed off all of the entrances that are big enough to hop out of with the Minotaur mech. So we've got a natural cave system down here that you cannot dig your way out of, and you need to get into the Minotaur and find your way out of the labyrinth, because the way you came in over here is certainly not big enough to get out of. I've tried quite a few times. As you can see, if you get over here fast enough, the ground isn't even gone. Alright, so let's take the short-range teleporter back upstairs. And what are we going to do next? How about we hop over to another base that wasn't as fortunate from the Origins change. So we already went over a Companions change that changed my freighter. That's one thing we got to take care of. But another thing I got to take care of on this save here is bases that I don't have to tear down, but that I am going to tear down because of the change that was made to them with the Origins update. And for similar reasons, it's not that the planets are really terrible. It's just that I picked those planets for how they looked when I picked them. And they don't look that way anymore, and I'm not too much of a fan of a couple of my planets. This planet got better. A lot of planets got much better with Origins, so I'm very happy with the update overall. It's just that it added a little bit of work for me, because some of my bases I am not too happy with anymore. My old main base is one of them, and we will quickly head there. And I haven't been there since the Origins update dropped, so maybe they've changed what happened to it. This will be a surprise for me too, but it is the... Where'd it go? I am on my bases, right? Should be before these. I can't find it. Where'd it go? Fringe, core, falcon, crease, cake. There we go. Spurious bulbs. That's the one. Alright, so this was my old main base. And I built it here because it had those giant megaflora that looked like twisted roses, really sort of evil giant roses. And it had a really cool chromatic effect that was, for lack of a better term, a vaporware aesthetics vibe. If you look at my banner of my channel, that is a screenshot of a day and night screenshot of the chromatic effect. Very pink, very teal, aqua, a little bit of yellow in there. Lots of really cool 80s Miami Vice style vibes. And that's why I built the base here. And after Origins dropped, for some reason, the chromatic effect that the planet had changed to another standard chromatic effect. Not a new chromatic effect, this chromatic effect that I've seen on dozens of planets. It is not new at all. It's very old. And while I'm not saying that it's a bad chromatic effect, I'm not really a fan of it, and I never would have built a base here to capture this chromatic effect. I just wouldn't have done it. I had a couple, I might even still have a couple of bases on planets with a chromatic effect just like this. But I wouldn't have built my main base here, especially I wouldn't have put in all of the different various quicksilver flora and fauna, because I spent a lot of time picking the colors of these things, and now you can't see any other colors. So yeah, not super useful to have this chromatic effect happen to me on this planet, unfortunately. And I can do a quick tour of this base too. We can compare it to how it used to look. Again, not that great. It's very silhouetted because it's such a stark, high contrast filter. I do not need to take the jetpack up. This base loads in pretty good. It's a low part count. Where does this one go? All the way to the top, I believe. This one should go off to the side. As you can see, I've done some glitching techniques. This is not the oldest of bases. I mean, it's a very old base, but I've been updating it for a long time. Even, no, not after Origins dropped. I haven't added anything since Origins dropped, and I got this chromatic effect over the base because I just decided to pack up and head to new territory. I already had the new main base already built way before this happened, so it's not a big deal. This just, again, just like the freighter, time to pack up and more opportunities for system shopping and freighter shopping. Take that short range teleporter up to here. That gets us to the bottom rung, the habitat level, if you see. I'm up on that area there. The first ring we saw. Oh, of course, and I just fall straight down, right into the water. All right, well, let's do that. Let's start from the bottom. I do have some, what is it, cadmium? Yeah, there's cadmium being farmed on this planet, so maybe I won't destroy the whole base, but I'm definitely going to tear down most of it. Down here is where we used to have the power. Every single one of these rooms was jam-packed with batteries and solar panels because they work underwater or underground. Every single one of these levels was filled all the way to the brim. But we'll just climb back up. I really like having these underwater rooms here attached to the bottom. With the glass, lets you see the underwater fauna. Again, not with this chromatic effect, it's not that great. And then we have a little bit of a secret on the main floor. See, we have a item changer here, but there's also a ladder underneath that lets you go down. You just gotta walk over it the right way. And you're not gonna fall in because you're generally gonna avoid this item image modifier, appearance modifier, that's what it's called. Got health stations, we got the overseer station. Where is the overseer? Oh, right, he's on my main base. Right, I moved all of the terminals are built on both bases, but I moved all of the actual technicians over to my main base. We can go up to the top. The very, very tippy top. Is there a dome of interesting plants? And I have biodomes for pretty much each of the stuff that you could grow. This was one of my very first bases. I wanted to make it a practical base. A lot of hex plate bushes here. So I'm definitely going to pick up those by hand and keep them. Take a long time to gather them. But I thought the hex plate bushes looked good here because there's so many biodomes. And they're sort of like broken apart biodomes, but you can barely see them now. So yeah, gotta fix this. Gotta delete most of this stuff. We'll keep the cadmium production, I think, because that's always useful. I don't think I'm making it anywhere else. You don't really need cadmium that often, but when you do, it might be better to go pick some up than it is to just find it off the ground, you know? So we've got a bunch of planets like this to fix. At least 3. Well, 2. We've got this one for sure. We're definitely going to replace this one. Let's head over to the other one that I know for sure. And I'm going to have to go through and we're going to have to take a peek and see which bases I want to keep and which I need to remove. It's you know, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I needed to delete some bases anyway because I was at the part cap. I couldn't build even another part anywhere. I have to delete a base if I want to build anything on this save. So, not a big deal. Gotta delete some bases. It's just a shame that I picked these planets, I named them, I uploaded them, and I picked them because of a unique planet here. So maybe we'll find another planet in this system to replace this base on, so we can keep the star system marked with a base. But we're going to leave this planet behind, that's for sure. So let me take a peek at these bases. That's where I started the game at. That's where I found what I call the Warbird Hauler. That was another interesting looking planet, back before Origins at least. I don't think I've been there since Origins. We can take a peek, see how that's changed, but that's something for a future episode, to go through every system that I've discovered. Oh, bases is what I want to be on. That's why. Okay. Spore colony. This is you know what? This is a planet that got way better. This was a fungal planet, you know, with the chromatic decoration, the anomalous decorations, what are they called? Shrooms, calca shrooms. And it was all red grass. And I was mining gold there. And the gold mine still works, but it got changed to white grass, which is really cool. But it also got changed to a red sky from a blue sky. So the grass is sort of pink, not white, which is really unfortunate. But that's cool. I've got a white grass planet. So that's an improvement. I consider that a bonus. Red sky is not that big of a detractment compared to white grass. That's a huge bonus. Falcon base. I don't think that's the one that changed. That's where I am. No, that's the home base. That's where the farmer is. See, I'm pretty sure Emerald Base is the one that has, or had, this chromatic effect. Maybe it got swapped for the one that used to be here. Deja Vu, or maybe Deja Vu was the one that had this chromatic effect. Londinium, Purple Haze. That's had a really cool chromatic effect. Oh, you know what? It might be on my other normal save. That's where I think it is. Yeah, one of the lush planets I built a base on. It still functions as a farm because it was built as a resource gathering planet, but it changed from a perfect weather lush into a not so perfect weather swamp. And while swamps are cool, again, that's just not why I built it there. So there's some stuff to do on that save too as well. But I definitely have to move this base. And I'm going to have to go through all of these bases and just double check that I want to keep them or not. So that's on my to-do list. So that's basically what we're going to be doing on this save, is going through and catching up. It's like a catch-up, you know. I haven't played it in so long. I've basically forgotten where I'm at and the things I need to do. I've gone over some of the big ones. I'm at 20,000 parts, so I need to delete some bases so I can build again. I've got some bases that are on planets that I don't like to look for. Oh, you know what? It is on this save. It is on this save. Where is it? Treehouse. Treehouse base. Where's that? Let's head to that real quick. Yeah. This is one of my favorite bases, one of my most recently built bases on this save, and I built it here because it was a gorgeous lush weather planet. It had beautiful tall trees. It had perfect yellow grass. I know yellow grass isn't the best, but this was like golden grass. It was very gold. The sky and the water, was the sky gold? I believe the sky might have been gold too, but it was that nice peach gold that made everything not yellow in the light. And the water was bright blue, and it was a perfect contrast of the yellow and gold, and it gave you some great colors. And it reminded me of, what's that movie called? Gladiator, when he goes to the Elysian fields and when he dies, it's all golden wheat, and it looked like that. So I named it Elysium, and this is the Elysian Treehouse, or Elysia. But as you can see, this is not yellow grass, and this planet no longer has any trees whatsoever. So while I'm perfectly happy with the build itself still, I would make some changes if I were to do it again, which apparently I'm going to have to. That's the build. We used to have yellow barked trees with purple leaves, just like these ones I've put in here. And I turned this whole build into a big tree to match all the trees on the planet. And now there are none. There are no trees on this entire planet. The only thing we've got is some bushes, and where did I see it down there? You can see them from up here. There's one over there. Giant versions of those bone spires that you can pick up on glitch planets, but they're actually minerals of some kind, I think. Can I delete it from here? I doubt it. No, I can't hit it from here. But yeah, all the trees got replaced with that. You can see the power from here now. That's the portal over there. Yeah, I'm just not too much of a fan. If I go into screenshot mode and make it daytime, we still have the orange peach sky, but the grass is turned to like a fluorescent red. It's just not what I wanted. It's a perfectly viable planet. Looks great. I think the weather might even still be good here. Let's take a peek. Just hop in and out real quick. Yeah, weather is beautiful. It's not what I wanted. It's got nice purple and purple patches on this bright red grass, but I would have picked a different planet for this base. I wouldn't have built a treehouse on a planet with no trees. Maybe I would have, just for the irony, I guess, but no, that's not what I was after. So there's one more base on the chopping block. Yeah, the other one I was thinking of, the third one, that's on my other save. So there is another planet that got affected on my other normal save. But we're not going to cover that stuff in this. Well, you know what? Maybe we will. Maybe this old save can be about a whole bunch of old saves of mine. We'll see. But until the next episode of This Old Save, that's it, everyone. Have a good time.